For decades, the British monarchy operated with a simple, unspoken rule: there must always be a hero and a villain. For a long time, Prince William was the hero, and Prince Harry, well, he was the designated lightning rod. But what happens when the lightning rod is removed? The electricity has to go somewhere. Suddenly, the heir to the throne is facing scrutiny he's never known. And the palace media machine, built over decades to protect him, is kicking into overdrive. But the playbook is looking desperate, and the excuses are getting weaker by the minute. Let's pull back the curtain. Enter Rebecca English, the royal editor for the Daily Mail. Her latest piece is a masterclass in what we call spin. The mission: explain away the visible, documented frostiness between King Charles and Prince William. Her methods? Let's break down the receipts. When Harry and Meghan stepped back, the old narrative collapsed. Suddenly, William stood alone, exposed to a new level of scrutiny. Without Harry as a distraction, every aspect of William's life was examined. His work ethic, once assumed, was now questioned and compared. The term part-time royal began to circulate. William's temperament, once called kingly, was now seen as petulant. Every rumour and awkward moment was amplified. The hero of yesterday was now the subject of critique. For the first time, William was the main focus of royal criticism. The media struggled to adjust, but the public didn't hesitate. Online, every move was dissected. The Sussexes' departure democratised royal commentary. The old shield was gone, cracks began to show. William was now on his own. Under fire, Kensington Palace reverted to its old playbook: distraction and defence. Friendly journalists flooded the press with positive stories about William's dedication and pressures, the aim to show a hard-working prince, too busy for public squabbles. Commentators painted criticism as attacks on the monarchy itself. When scrutiny intensified, a new story would emerge, often a negative one about Harry and Meghan. The Sussexes, even from afar, remained a convenient diversion. This sleight of hand kept attention off William's shortcomings. The palace relied on access journalism, trading exclusives for favourable coverage. But in the age of social media, this strategy faltered. The public was no longer passive. Manufactured narratives were easier to spot. The old tactics were losing their power. The game had changed. The palace's spin now clashes with reality, eroding public trust. Take the ivory row. William's private ivory collection contradicted his public conservation stance. Official explanations only deepened skepticism. When online criticism grew, the palace blamed Russian bots, dismissing real concerns. This out-of-touch response alienated the public. People noticed when William's supposed commitments didn't match his actions. Praise for his hands-on approach rang hollow when he was absent from key events. The gap between image and reality widened. The louder the defence, the more it sounded like an echo chamber. Reassurances about William's popularity felt forced. Each flimsy excuse exposed more cracks in the facade. The spin wasn't hiding flaws, it was highlighting them. The public was no longer buying it. The contrast between Prince William and the Sussexes is stark and increasingly evident in their public engagements and projects. William's projects, like the Earthshot Prize, are institutionally bound and carefully managed, reflecting his commitment to environmental causes and traditional royal responsibilities. His messaging is formal, focused on tradition and stability, embodying the essence of royal duty and continuity. Harry and Meghan, meanwhile, speak directly to a global audience, leveraging their platform to address contemporary issues and personal stories. Their Netflix series and podcasts bypass palace protocol, allowing them to control their narrative and reach audiences on their own terms. Their projects spark global conversation and excitement, often trending on social media and capturing the public's imagination. William's work, though worthy and impactful, struggles to generate the same level of buzz and media attention. The public is drawn to the Sussexes' personal storytelling and charismatic presence over the more reserved royal duty. William's approach can seem staid in a personality-driven media world, where charisma often trumps tradition. The Sussexes play a different game, one of celebrity and direct engagement, appealing to a modern audience. Their success in the media spotlight makes William's traditional path look overshadowed and less dynamic. The public's attention is clear. Clicks and views overwhelmingly favour the Sussexes, highlighting their global reach. The monarchy faces a new challenge in balancing royal duty with the allure of global celebrity. William's defenders sound increasingly rehearsed, as if reading from a well-worn script rather than speaking from the heart. Whenever negative stories break, the same familiar voices emerge, repeating identical talking points almost word for word, as if coordinated behind the scenes. They quickly pivot to praising William's character, highlighting his sense of duty, while simultaneously shifting focus to criticize Harry and Meghan, ensuring headlines in friendly outlets remain favourable. Yet to the wider public, this orchestrated defence feels inauthentic and manufactured, lacking the spontaneity and honesty people crave. The defence lacks real credibility, coming across as a carefully managed PR operation rather than genuine support from real people. The echo chamber effect is obvious. While traditional media repeats the palace line, online sentiment often tells a very different story, with scepticism and criticism growing louder. The public is increasingly aware that positive coverage is frequently traded for continued access to the royals, making the relationship between press and palace seem transactional. Glowing praise is now widely seen as transactional, not objective reporting, further eroding trust in both the media and the monarchy. This strategy only convinces those who are already loyal supporters, reinforcing existing beliefs rather than winning over skeptics. Critics remain unmoved, and public cynicism continues to grow, with many questioning the relevance of the monarchy in modern times. The defensive posture makes the monarchy appear fragile and isolated, rather than strong and confident as intended. These old tactics, once effective, now only deepen the divide between the palace and the public, making genuine connections seem impossible. In the end, this hollow defence is more than just a weak response. It's a clear symptom of a failing strategy and a monarchy struggling to adapt. Prince William's image crisis marks a turning point for royal PR. The old hero and foil narrative is obsolete. Media spin and distraction no longer work in the digital age. The royal shield has shattered, not from one event, but from a shift in public expectations. Deference is gone, accountability is in. The public wants substance, not just image. William's projects, though worthy, feel overmanaged and corporate. Harry's departure accelerated the problem, removing the monarchy's best distraction. Now, William faces the spotlight alone, and the old playbook is useless. Image without action is meaningless. The truth is this: the rift between Charles and William is likely very real. William's work ethic is under legitimate scrutiny, and the gossip Rebecca English dismisses is often well-sourced reporting. For years, William was insulated. Negative stories about him were routinely spiked in exchange for attacks on Harry and Meghan. That shield is gone. Now the palace and its media allies are scrambling, deploying vague conspiracies and weak excuses, but with every attempt to blame Russian bots instead of addressing the heir's choices, with every fluff piece that fails to resonate, they reveal their greatest fear: that without a villain to tear down, the public might finally see the hero for who he really is. The old ways are broken. A new approach is essential.